Hello, everybody. My name is Nikola Trajkovic, and I'm coming from Serbia. Um, I'm not professional diver. I do that only from hobby. Actually, I learned to dive randomly. I had opportunity to visit my good friend Ross in Bali. Um, I didn't actually plan to do scuba diving. It was more like talking with her. I felt some kind of energy, and at the same time, like, oh wow, I never thought that I should actually start the course. So it was just random. Let's try it. Let's just do one dive. I had this kind of quick introduction. I got a little bit scared, to be honest, because I have a problem with headaches and sinuses, and that's why, like, what is going to happen down. Also, I'm a very dynamic person and very communicative, so like down, I cannot talk. So like, how is going to be? Like, I was more like interested to experience, but I didn't plan to really fall in love with this amazing thing. So um, first, I would recommend that don't have fear because it's ridiculous. If you know to swim properly, then you can also dive. Maybe because of the crew, or let's say people who taught me, but it was really simple, and I was not struggling with anything. What is the funny thing is that somehow um, when I went to dive with the crew, everybody else, I think they were already in this kind of scuba diving. They have certification, so let's say they were more professional than I did, and somehow they were like relaxed, and I was so excited, like wow, like we are going to dive and so on. But in the same time, after like a couple of minutes, I become quiet because people are serious, they're checking all the equipment, which is normal thing. So I realized that this is not just going into the water, and everything that I learned in the swimming pool, now actually I have to prove, and I took it seriously, maybe even too seriously. And I remember that I was checking everything 2 times, especially like the things for the air and all these kind of things. Um, from the first moment I went down and realized that I'm able to control myself, that I'm not panicking, I don't know, I cannot describe that feeling. Like it's like you're flying, but not like you're flying among clouds, which I think is actually not so interesting. Here you have complete new world, like all the animals. Okay, maybe I was lucky because I was in Gili, which has an amazing nature. So yeah, from the moment that I start noticing that down, it's a kind of amazing new world. I again confirm that I'm falling in love in this sport, and that definitely I want more. Uh, Also, I think that crew is amazing because they're trying to show us everything and to share what they're seeing, checking like some interesting fish, or like some, yeah, everything that is interesting. Even the thing when the current is changing, so like everything is blurry. I didn't know this kind of thing, so for me it was really unexpected experience and amazing feeling. Uh, Also, what is funny is that when I finished my first dive, I think that these people, if they could record me like for YouTube, because I started singing Under the Sea, all these kind of songs regarding the ocean. I was thanking God to Poseidon, Triton, and all these mythological creatures, that I'm thankful for this kind of opportunity. Like it was crazy. But also, what is interesting is that I spot one fish which had interesting tail. For me, interesting because I haven't seen it before. And actually, it was not. It was just a regular fish in the water of Bali. And I remember when we get to the center, I was telling everybody, like, because people knew that I'm the newbie, and they were asking how was it, and I was so amazed, and I was screaming and like telling every story, and then the famous sentence, and then I looked into the fish with the tail, and everybody was like, oh really, with the tail? So it was like some kind of story for that day, and everybody was making fun, but like not like real fun, like we were laughing all the time. And then of course, as this was only like one dive for like probation, I decided that definitely I want more and more, and actually every day I was diving. I spent all my money, but actually it worth, and I will do it again, which I'm doing actually. I don't have a favorite animal when it comes to the Sea World, because what amazes me is actually the when I see the how everything there, this ecosystem functioning, and that amazes me really the most. And then when I see a bunch of fish together, that's something that is really cool. Also, what I had a very interesting story was that even though the region of Gili T doesn't have any dangerous creatures, there was I think that time when some fish made babies. So there was one really peaceful fish who were actually thanking us, and I got beaten by her, and it was very funny because I was also explaining to my family like what's happening, like oh I got attacked or something. But it was nothing like. But for me, it was amazing experience, and also something that I should be proud. Like I got this kind of situation, the second dive, and I almost like getting in trouble, you know. So for me, that's also like super funny. Um, of course, even though you have fun down, I also take it really seriously. So from the especially for me as a newbie, sometimes you get too relaxed, in my opinion. So really, you have to always think and look, especially the others, because yeah, luckily we didn't have any bad situation, and I never heard that anybody had. But still, I think that yeah, it could be dangerous. So I like also because somehow you take this sport very seriously, and then you get what you get. Amazing experience. Um, for me also, let's say that what I like about this sport, or like this experience, is that uh, somehow when you go down, it's really peaceful, but you forget about all the obligation, all work, all the problem in the world. You're just there with the nature, and somehow I really connect with that, and that makes you like really calm. And it's similar with the escape room, which also drives your attention and you forget about everything else, but somehow escape room could be also annoying. This is not. This is like really perfect environment. Uh, but of course, I mentioned to you that I'm very communicative person, so I'm also famous by screaming. Oh, nobody hears, of course, and also like trying to communicate. This is look at this fish, look at this, look at that. So maybe I'm a little bit also. Not like a circus, but I'm trying to also be somehow more social on the water. But it's so funny that I always try to speak with fish and with people around me, and it's impossible. But I think it's also a funny thing because everybody does that. I think also in human nature. Um, for me, the perfect diving week. It's not about the location and the weather. Of course, I how to say, imagine that's like perfect sun, warm water, beautiful nature, a lot of diverse things to see. That's for me the perfect diving week. But the most important are people. So with whom you're doing it, with whom after that you're making a comment, what have you seen. So those kind of things, that's also, for me, that's the most important thing. I would rather go to some maybe not the best location, but with the best people than opposite. How do I see that this sport involves is that, especially for the countries that it is not so popular, like for example in Serbia, easier to get the education, also to have much more organized tours, and mix with something else. So what I can see, sometimes people are just like, okay, I go scuba diving or I don't. I would rather maybe to have like mixture. So going there for a couple of days of scuba diving and then also seeing some cultural things and enjoying seeing the rest of the country that I'm visiting. Also, I think it's very good to somehow people are better connected. So I, for example, wanted to go to Egypt. For me, it was a little bit harder to find the right diving center. They're not so good. Like, I would like to have some official reviews or like types of diving centers. So like maybe there are diving centers that are purely for diving. There are diving centers maybe that people are also open to party in the evenings or something like that. So mix. I would like to diving be involved in the regular tourism. So that's how I see the diving should be involved. Once more, I really advise everybody to try. That's something that's for sure nobody will regret. Of course, if you don't like it, don't like it, but trust me, you're always in good hands. The instructors are always very, very, very well prepared, and they will not allow you to go into the water if you're not secure, or if you not feel secure, if you're of course not secure with the equipment. So really just do it, and you will not regret it, because then you will just think about under the sea, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. Ciao guys, enjoy!